Today, we're going to talk about the power of small wins. I want to start by asking you a question, a simple question. How was your day? How often do you guys get that question? Probably every day. How do you usually answer it? How do most people answer that question when you ask them, how was your day? And I think most of the time we're hearing it was okay. It was so-so. Occasionally we hear it sucked. And very seldom do we hear it was absolutely amazing. It was an amazing day. Now, why do you think this is? I'm going to give you the answer. I think the reason most of us don't know we had a great day is because we don't know what a great day looks like. Have you taken the time to stop and identify what does a great day look like to you? Right? Think big, focus small. So let me explain what I mean by that. I want you to have big goals. I want you to have big, hairy, audacious, ridiculous goals, but I want you to focus small. Most people get the think big part if they get that far, but they don't understand the focus small. The focus small means don't focus on the destination, focus on the next step. How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? Just one step at a time. Focus small, think big, but focus small. All right, so last question before I get to the PowerPoint. I want you to stop and I want somebody to answer this question for me, okay? You're Dorothy and you land in the Wizard of Oz. You land in Oz or whatever the city is, right? Okay, you've landed and you want to go to see the Wizard of Oz. How do you get, is it the Emerald City? I think that's right? Somebody say yes, so I know I'm on track here, okay? How do you get to the Emerald City?
Stay on the yellow brick road.
That's it! So simple.
One step at a time.
One step at a time, Pamela. Just get on that yellow brick road and go. That's it. You nailed it. All right, here we go. Give me a second while I share my screen with you. The power of small wins. All right, so every morning a young stockbroker sat down with two jars, one full of 120 paper clips, the other empty. Each time he made a call, he moved one paper clip to the other jar. By the end of the day, you had 120 calls. Progress you can see becomes progress you want to repeat. 120 calls. Holy cow. How many of you are making 120 calls a day looking for motivated buyers and sellers? I'm going to try something here. Let's all pray it works. What's your number one job? It's lead generation. What comes before lead generation? Say nothing. Until lead generation is done, how do we define done? For me, it's 20 conversations, 3 appointments booked, whichever comes last. What is your definition of lead generation? Everybody's definition is different, but you have to have a definition in order to know that you did it. And if you don't have an appointment with a buyer or seller, what else are you going to do? Work on your business cards, work on your website. All right, progress you can see becomes progress you want to repeat. Let's keep going. All right, why visual progress matters. We're wired for feedback. Seeing movement reinforces motivation and builds momentum. I want you to really pay attention to that first sentence right there. Seeing movement reinforces motivation. What comes first? Is it motivation or is it movement? I want you to write down movement always becomes before motivation. If you're waiting for motivation in order to do it, you're never going to do it. Do it anyways, even when you don't feel like doing it, and motivation will show up. All right, habit tracking, your modern paperclip system equals a simple way to measure whatever you did, whether you did the habit, not how well you did it. So I want you to use a week at a glance calendar, and I want you to use a paper calendar. I know it's not techie. It's definitely out of time, but I want you to get a calendar where you can take the calendar, let me see if I can show you mine, and you can hold it up and you can see the entire week at a glance. Now, one of the things that you're going to do on this calendar is every single day at the bottom of the calendar, I want you to write down how many calls did you make, how many people did you talk to, how many appointments did you schedule. So I don't know if you can see this, but Monday, 22 calls, 7 conversations, 3 appointments booked. Tuesday, 18 calls, 5 contacts, 3 appointments booked. Yesterday, 24 24 calls, 9 contacts, 4 appointments booked. What's my daily standard? 3 appointments. Did I hit my standard every day? Yes. Now, some days it's going to take more calls, Karen. Some days you're going to get it done in fewer calls. But the bottom line is you don't stop until you hit the standard. Mark an X for every day you take action. Watch your streak grow. Focus on consistency, not perfection. If you're focused on perfection, you're not going to be perfect and you're going to be tempted to quit. If you just focus on consistency, calls, conversations, appointments booked, you have control over those 3 things. Whether or not you go get a listing today, or you close a sale today, or you put a property under contract today, you may or may not have control over those things, but you control how many calls you make, how many people you talk to, and how many appointments you schedule. So if you measure success by those activities, calls, contacts, appointments booked, then every day you're successful because you don't stop until you are. Benefit number 1, it's obvious. Recording your last action triggers your next one. Keeps you honest, and data doesn't lie. Oh, I love that a lot. Helps you see your real behavior. You think you're making 20 calls a day, the tracker shows 7. Awareness creates change. Just imagine for a moment if you were on a journey and you're going from Tampa to Miami and you're like, okay, it's south, it's kind of southeast. I'm just going to get in my car and start driving southeast and I'll probably get there. You won't. You have to be aware of where you're going in order to be able to make course corrections, right? 2018, we go on this boat trip, a buddy of mine and myself, Perry, lifelong friend. Island Spirit is the name of the boat. And we head out of Tampa Bay on our way to Belize. We're at sea 4.5 days. Now, we just plug in the GPS and the GPS is going to take us to Belize. But imagine if we got in the boat and we're like, okay, it's southwest. Let's just start heading southwest and I'm sure everything will be fine. No, it won't be fine. You're not going to get there. Here's the other thing. If you paid attention to the everything, it's funny. If you paid attention to all the different tools on the boat, wrong word, but you're watching that GPS and you're paying attention to what it's doing, it's making course corrections constantly. Thousands of them. It's making course corrections because it's paying attention. Now, the way you're wired is another way of explaining that you're making course corrections is if I were to say to Cole, you're off track, you're off track, you're off track, you're off track, you're off track. Eventually, Cole would say, screw this, I'm done. Now, just imagine for a moment, Cole is a 747. He's taken off from Tampa and he's flying to Los Angeles. And the instruments, boy, that's the word I was looking for earlier. The instruments are telling Cole he's off track and he's making corrections. So that 747 is getting constant feedback that's saying you're off track, correct course, you're off track, correct course. 747 says, screw this, I can't handle it. I'm just going to give up and crash right here. It's a good thing they're not wired the same way we are. All right, benefit number 2, progress equals motivation. Write that down. Again, what shows up first? Progress does. What shows up after progress? Motivation. Every check mark, paperclip, or streak is a mini dopamine hit. Each small win feeds your desire to keep going. On tough days, your tracker reminds you you're still showing up, you're still moving forward. Turn your business into a game, play to win, and keep score. Scoreboards make work fun. All right, benefit number 3, it's satisfying. Reward is in the progress, not the outcome. Boy, that's important. Reward is in the process, not the outcome. Stop obsessing over results and start mastering repetition. Don't focus on closing 20 homes. Focus on being the agent who never misses a day of lead generation. So 2019, another story. I decide that I am going to walk from Boca to Key West. It's 240 miles, guys. Now, I'm going to do this by every week on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'm going to walk 10 miles. And then the next week, I'm going to pick up where I left off and walk another 10 miles. And then the next week, and the next week, and the next week. It took 24 weeks to do this. I didn't get to Key West by focusing on the destination. I simply got to Key West by focusing on the process of walking 10 miles every week. Here's the other thing I can tell you. Arriving at the destination was a letdown. The parts that I remember about that journey that I'll never forget is the journey. Actually arriving at the destination, the only thing I can think of is, okay, what next? Anytime you arrive at a destination, what are you going to do? What if success is climbing to the top of the mountain and you actually get there? What are you going to do now? I mean, the top of the mountain is only good for being able to see the next destination. Let's apply this to real estate. Your real estate paperclip jar. One clip equals a conversation. One clip equals a follow-up call. One clip equals an open house invite. Your tracker is your scoreboard. The more consistent your habits, the more predictable your business. Write that down. The more consistent your habits, the more predictable your business. I want to talk about habits here for a moment. Actions turn into habits. Habits look like discipline. When you see somebody, you're like, oh my gosh, that person is so disciplined. They're not disciplined at all. I mean, you would think that I'm disciplined if I told you I've booked three appointments every single day for the past 10 years. I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, I'm a recruiter. One of the things that I do for a living is I recruit. And I've recruited an average of 150 real estate agents every year for 10 years. And you're like, holy cow, how did you do that? 3 appointments a day. That's it. And you're like, wow, you just must be so disciplined. Not at all. You know, if you think I'm disciplined, talk to my wife. She'll tell you otherwise. I'm not disciplined. I have habits that look like discipline. All right, challenge for the week. Choose one key habit. Follow-up calls, CMAs, calls, social touches. Track it visually every day. Visually is the key word there. I want you to write it in your week in a glance calendar so you can see it. It's right in front of you. Track it visually. Celebrate every completed day. At the end of the day, you hit your calls, you hit your contacts, you scheduled appointments, celebrate. At the end of the week, celebrate. At the end of the month, celebrate. Now, even if you haven't taken a listing, even if you haven't put a property under contract, I want you to celebrate, because what if your goal is to close 24 homes in 2026 and you get through the end of January and you've closed none? You get through the end of February and you still close none. Now you start to close a few sales. We're getting to October and you've closed 12 sales and you're like, oh, I'm not going to hit the goal. I'm a failure. I'm not going to hit the goal. And then in November, you close 6. And in December, you close 6. Did you hit the goal? Yes or no? I was really waiting for somebody to actually answer that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You might have.
Okay. Now here's the next question. Did it happen in 2 months? The answer is no. The answer is no, because without all the activities that you did in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and September, it ain't happening. It happened in 12 months because of the work you did. You were able to close 6 sales in November and 6 sales in December, and you hit your goal for 2024. Meanwhile, you're down on yourself. You're having a pity party. You're, as Zig Ziglar would say, you have a bad case of plum disease, which is poor little old me, because it's October and you've only closed 12 sales. Your goal was 24 and you just ain't going to hit it. And then all of a sudden you do. And you're like, oh, I guess that was okay. I won. Celebrate every single day, every single week, every single month. Focus on the activities. Focus on the activities and celebrate hitting those activity goals. All right. Small wins build big lives. Consistency is the bridge between survival and success. Don't try to be perfect. Just move one paperclip, one action every single day, one habit at a time. All right, talk to me. Talk to me, Karen.
I'm sitting here thinking I have to be more intentional with my time. That's what this is it's intentional. Like my notes are: movement is motivation, motivation is progress, progress is reward, destination, start over.
There you go.
So you're just telling the story of my life right now. Thank you.
There you go. Okay. All right. Talk to me, Sean.
Along with what Karen just said is, I remember this show. It was a military show where they would take these like Navy SEALs or just privates, and they would run them through these extremely tough situations, like where they could, if they don't do it right. And all of the Navy SEALs, all the guys that made it through, always started with, I don't have to get it all done.
That's right.
I just have a small win. Just do this one thing to prove to myself that it can be done. And then repeat that until the job is done. And whenever and as agents, as individual agents that don't have an assistant or anything, we're like a McDonald's. We have to bring in the business. We have to make the hamburgers. We got to collect the funds. We got to make sure they're happy. We got to do the taxes. We got to do all of that at the same time.
That's right.
All of that has to be done in conjunction with each other, but
Right.
can't be done one step at a time. So just at the beginning of this, it was small wins, and that's what it's about. Small
Great stuff,
wins.
Sean. Good stuff. Talk to me, Joe.
All right, so here's the checklist of the calls, conversations, appointments set and met, hard copy. But while I'm doing my calls, I actually keep it on a piece of scrap paper so I can write notes as well. The only problem is I don't force myself to meet my minimum standard. That minimum standard of 10 conversations and 1 appointment set per day. I hit the 10 conversations, okay, I'm done. I hit the 1 appointment set per day and I'm done. But and the other thing is motivation is actually the first thing that gets people moving because it comes from the root motive, which is to move. It's the stimulus that puts us into action. So we just need to figure out what motivation we have to continue us to hit that non-negotiable standard.
I love that. 2 things. Number 1, Joe is one of the smartest people on this call. When he talks, pay attention to him. Number 2, Joe, the solution for you, simple. You need accountability in your life. You need somebody that is going to hold you accountable to hitting that daily standard. Brian Copeland, talk to me.
This morning are the calls that I show up for. I mean, I don't need tactical combat training on how to have a conversation, but it's actually doing the work. And it's not striving for perfection. It's striving for the daily standard. And, John, I'm human like everybody else. We all struggle with that most of the time. And I think the biggest thing that you said is get it done first in the day. Mm-hmm. Because as a parent, as a real estate agent, as an entrepreneur, so many things will just come hit me throughout the day. Yep. Start at 9 o'clock, right? And getting it done early before the day becomes chaos, which it finds me every day, right, is such a great reminder.
That's right. Good stuff, Brian. Lindsay, talk to me.
Hey, any advice on, I don't have a plethora of time in these first couple months, which are going to be the most important because that's when I'm going to be starting my business. What advice can you give? Because it's you have volume and then you have results of volume. And I have nothing at this point and at this stage that is I can calculate and work backward and say, I have to hit this to get my appointments. Right. Any advice on that? Because and the last part is there's going to be days that no matter what's landed, you've got to be done at 2 because you've got to do family stuff. Any advice,
right,
guys?
That's right. Time block. Lindsay, time block. Okay. Even if it's only a half hour a day, time block. You create a habit of walking by walking around the block every day. You don't create a habit of walking by walking 2 miles one day and 3 the next, and none, and then none, and then none, and then 2 miles, and then 1 mile. You do it by repeatedly doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's time block. And it doesn't have to be an hour and a half start to finish. It could be a half hour here, half hour here, half hour here. Time block.
So then what I'm hearing is that maybe my standard is showing up for myself in that uninterrupted, non-negotiable time every day. And
100%.
Track it. And then from there, revisit in 2 months, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to start out with make 10 calls a day, not 10 conversations, 10 calls. Just start with 10 calls every day, right? Who do you know that's thinking of selling their home? Simple, right? Start small and build from there.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Let's go, Birgit.
Good morning. I'm going to go quick so we can finish up here, but absolutely. Thank you, John, for today. You absolutely lit a fire in my own heart again this morning. So it is very much needed. But secondarily, I just want to remind all of us, we experienced a life that we focus on. That is the same thing we have to remember. If we are focusing on being here in this room for half an hour, nothing else, I said it before, nothing else is getting in the way. I see all of you, you tuned in, you're listening, you're paying attention. So that is the life you're currently focusing on. So when you do the same thing as far as when you're making your calls, phone in hand, no other distractions, that is the life that you're currently focusing on, and that's the result that will come from that. So it's my tried and true, and if you can see it, I have this dumb little sticky note. It barely sticks anymore, but I have it around me every day to remind myself that that's what's important.
There you go. She's a rock star. Coach B, thank you for dropping gold on us today. Always appreciate you. All right, that's a wrap. I apologize for the technical issues. Hope you guys got value today. Make it a great day.
Thank you, John. Great day, everyone.
Go get them, man.
And John, yesterday I joined a 4-person accountability group. So it's time for daily accountability.
Boom, boom, boom. Love you, Joe Grant. Go get him, buddy.
Take care, brother.
All right.
If this helped, hit like and subscribe for practical real estate coaching with Coach John Dietz Coaching.